Imagine it now. You're sitting down to watch the latest Nintendo Direct, enjoying the wave of new reveals and release date announcements, when the one last thing is something entirely unexpected. You're treated to a near-futuristic setting where a business mogul and his secretary are commissioning an archaeologist to explore some recently discovered ruins underneath the large city that provided the opening shot of the trailer. In contrast to the almost Uncharted-like build-up of the opening scene, once you get to gameplay of our adventurer taking on some genuine spelunking, things take a sharp turn for the old school, a fresh coat of paint for a tried-and-true formula that clearly aspires to capitalize on a wave of good fortune for the Nintendo Switch going into its 7th year on the market. The title, Echoes of the Ancients, immediately goes up for pre-order to surprising fanfare. Nintendo's clearly getting behind this game, but nothing that they're showing you is indicative of the journey you're about to go on. The promotional build plays things close to the vest, focusing on the character creator, the city, the underground, and one particular set of ruins all the way to the game's release. The city is there for you to shop, pick up quests, and convene with your benefactors, which would also serve as the game's "I've been away from this for a long time and forgot what I'm supposed to do next" assist. The underground is an exploration zone where you'll search for treasure, items, and more ruins to explore, and the ruins themselves are where you'll pick up new gear and progress the story. And that's the understanding that people will have going in to pick up their copies of the game on launch day. When the game finally hits, more light is shed on the major players in our storyline. Our custom-created archaeologist the player controls is a natural talent, having built a reputation for exploring without bringing a lot of gear along, just because they have a knack for finding whatever they need at the destination. Mystery surrounds the financier, while the archaeologist swears up and down that the secretary is familiar, even though they've never met before in their lives. Social media is abuzz with players collaborating to share their discoveries, things they found in the underground, solutions to boss fights in the ruins, generally just speculating about the direction of the game. One Reddit user weighs in about how it's great to see Nintendo experimenting with new IP, and that Echoes of the Ancients is a great game, but it feels a little too much like a Zelda game for him to give them full credit for trying something new. And the one-word reply is almost instantaneous. Wait. ROP, to clarify, hasn't yet finished the third ruins of the game, while he was met with someone who has. Upon clearing that particular dungeon, the player will have basic exploration gear and a general understanding of the gameplay mechanics, and a beacon in the underground signals the player to a location where they'll receive an alarmingly familiar weapon and exposition central, as their employers arrive to meet them there. The ruins you've been exploring are that of ancient Hyrule, so long dead that an entire other civilization has built atop it, and a threat is coming that is so substantial that the Triforce spent what little power it had left to spark one more round of reincarnation in order to save the current civilization from disaster. The heroes and villains of ancient Hyrule have returned, united in purpose for the first time, but they still need to figure out exactly what that purpose is. The next 9 ruins, set in a completely new, broader underground map, will tell the tale of that preparation. It's also at this point that the title screen drops the act, revealing the full title, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of the Ancients. You can honestly go in whatever direction you want from here, tidying up the storyline by the time you reach the end of the game, or setting up a broader long-term epic focused on these 3 strong reimaginings of Link, Zelda, and Ganon. It might not be met with unanimous approval, since it could be seen as being in poor taste to bait and switch a player base that has long been calling for Nintendo to introduce more new IP, but taking a page out of Hideo Kojima's playbook might just pay off with one of the best Zelda stories left to be told. Despite past attempts, I'm not an active game developer. I never really learned any development software, and I can't code my way out of a wet paper bag, but what I do have are ideas, and that's going to be the point of this new playlist, Patrick's Pitch. Since I can't make these games myself due to both a lack of talent and not wanting to get sued into a crater by IP holders, I'll be using this feature to share my takes on long-running franchises purely for your entertainment. When Hyrule Historia was released, I was immediately intrigued by the concept of the Age of Decline, or the End of Hyrule. Not only did it involve some of my favorite games in the series, the idea of the legend having a distinct ending point, at least in one particular timeline, was a compelling one. I hoped they were going to pay it off with Breath of the Wild, which is literally an after-the-end storyline set in a very Zelda 2-like environment. Because of that, and without explicitly dispensing spoilers, I felt like they took the cheap way out with the game's ending, despite it paving the way for Tears of the Kingdom, leaving me feeling resigned to the reality of an actual End of Hyrule storyline being something Nintendo would just never have a taste for, much like Capcom would clearly never care to depict the apocalyptic events that separated Mega Man from Mega Man X on screen. And this isn't my only idea for the Zelda series, but it's absolutely my favorite one. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you did, then be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, as it really helps the channel, and I'll see you back here later for the next Patrick's Pitch.